Hello, fans, and welcome to This Day in Baseball, where we're going to bring you a full radio broadcast of today's game. And before we do that, I just want to thank Classic Baseball Radio, and there's a link in the notes where you can check out their full channel. They have many great radio broadcasts. And while you're listening to today's game, if you want to check out much more about the game and the players, look on the links below, and you're going to see links to player pages, the date the game happened, the year it happened, and the play-by-play. Enjoy the game, and check out the links while you're watching the game, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that every time new content comes out, you're going to get that firsthand. And thank you again for checking out This Day in Baseball, and enjoy the game.
All right, let's look at the starting lineups for the second game now. And for the New York Yankees, Horace Clarke will lead off and play second base. Ron Woods will be in center field and bat second. Bobby Mercer in right field, hitting third. At first base, Joe Pepitone. Left field, batting fifth, Roy White, who hit a home run for three of the Yankee runs in the opener. John Ellis will do the catching and bat sixth. Bobby Cox will be at third base and hit seventh. Gene Michael at shortstop, batting eighth. And the pitcher for the Yankees, Al Downing. Now for the Washington Senators in the nightcap, it will be exactly the same starting lineup as for the first game, with the exception, of course, of the pitcher. Ed Brinkman will lead off and play shortstop. Hank Allen will be in center field and hit second. Frank Howard will play first base again and bat third. The left fielder and cleanup hitter is Brant Allier. Ken McMullen, who had a three-run homer for the Senators in the opener, will be at third base. Sam Bowens will be in right field. Tim Cullen at second base, batting seventh. The number 8 hitter, doubling up behind the plate today, Paul Casanova. And the pitcher for the Washington Senators, Jim Schellenbach. Ralph Houk now out at home plate with Ted Williams, the Senators manager. The umpires coming out. And the umpires for the second game, Russ Getz will be at home plate calling balls and strikes. Larry Knapp will be at first base. Bill Kunkel at second base. And John Rice will be at third base. Three of the umpires are out. John Rice has not as yet made his appearance. Senators with a 5-4 win in the first game, so the Yankees can do no better than win 3 out of 4 in this series. And, of course, the Senators will be hoping now for a sweep of the doubleheader and a split of the series. Now we're looking down there now, and John Rice now makes his appearance. Jim Schellenbach has been around for quite a while in the Pittsburgh Pirate organization. The Senators take the field. Schellenbach, a native of Riverside, California, is 6'2", 200 pounds. He throws and bats left-handed. He broke into baseball in 1962 at Idaho Falls in the Pioneer League. In 1963, he had a big year in the Western Carolina League, winning 17 and losing 3. He has been with the Pittsburgh Pirates on a couple of occasions. He spent the part of the 1966 season with them. However, he got in only 2 ball games. In 1967, he got into 6 ball games with the Pirates with a record of 1-1, and that was his National League career record, 1 win and 1 loss. Last season, he was with the International League Columbus Club, where he won 9 and lost 8. And as we told you, the Senators acquired him on waivers from the Pittsburgh organization on May 14th. Schellenbach got in 8 games for the Pirates early this season. He had no won and loss record with them. He has been in 17 games for the Senators. This is only his 5th start, however, and used primarily in relief. And with Washington, he has a record of 1 win and 4 defeats. His overall season records show an earned run average of 4.86. This will be his 5th start. He has pitched 1 complete ball game. Schellenbach has worked only 50 innings. He has allowed 48 base hits, walked 27, and struck out 22. He has been tagged for 5 home runs. And this will be the first time that I've ever seen Schellenbach in a ball game, so we'll try to tell you what kind of stuff he has and what his primary pitches are as we go along. Right now, Horace Clarke is set to lead off. Clarke went 3 for 4 in the first game. He is 6 for 13 in the series, and the first pitch to him is a curve right across for a strike. Clarke is now hitting .281. Ron Wood's on deck. The windup in the pitch from the left-hander in the dirt, scooped up by the catcher, Paul Casanova. The look in for the sign, and the pitch, a curve, is hit on the ground to third. Ken McMullen gobbles it up, throws on to Frank Howard at first base in plenty of time to retire Horace Clarke, and there's 1 away. And now the batter will be Ron Woods. Woods did not appear in the first game. He was the on-deck hitter when Jake Gibbs struck out to end the ball game. Woods is 1 for 8 in the series. Ron carries a batting average of .253. Right-hand hitter, and the pitch is in there for a strike. Schellenbach going with the breaking stuff primarily through the early pitches in this game. He winds, kicks, and fires. There's another curve, and this one right through the legs of catcher Paul Casanova and to the backstop. Bobby Mercer waiting on deck. Schellenbach to the wind and the pitch. Curve is fouled to the seats on the right side. Well, the count is now a ball and 2 strikes to Ron Woods. Senators have Brant Allier in left field, Hank Allen in center, and Sam Bowens in right. Schellenbach takes his sign from Paul Casanova. And the pitch. Fastball is fouled back to the seats on the first base side. That is the first fastball he's thrown. On the infield, the Senators have Ken McMullen at third, Ed Brinkman at shortstop, Tim Cullen at second, and Frank Howard at first. 1-2 pitch. Hit up in the air to shallow left center. Coming on for it, the center fielder, Hank Allen. He sets up under it, and he makes the catch. 2 up and 2 down, and now Bobby Mercer. Mercer went 1 for 4 in the opener. He has 4 hits in 13 trips in the series. Strike over the outside corner. Here's a final score from Wrigley Field. The Cubs have shut out the Phillies 6-0 on a 4-hitter by Ken Holtzman. Holtzman's 11th win of the year. Mercer takes the changeup high, and the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. The Mets have defeated the Montreal Expos in the first game of their doubleheader 4-3. Jerry Koosman got the win. Ball is high to Mercer, and the count is now 2-1. Robertson was the loser. Pittsburgh and St. Louis are scoreless through 6.5 innings. 2-1 pitch to Mercer. He swings. It's a ground ball to first base. Frank Howard makes the play, and he makes it unassisted. So Schellenbach retires the Yankees in order. Nothing across, and at the end of the top half of the first, the score is the Yankees nothing and the Senators coming to bat.
If you enjoy the regal beauty of fine china, you'll certainly enjoy the beauty of Royal Elegance. Royal Elegance is fine china that captures the subtle charm of china that sells for many times the price. And Atlantic brings it to your table at a fantastically low price. You can purchase a 4-piece place setting of Royal Elegance for only 99 cents with each 8 gallons of gasoline at participating Atlantic stations. This offer may vary in some states, but this beautiful fine china, imported from across the sea, will never vary in its translucent, delicate beauty. Each 4-piece plate setting consists of a cup and saucer, dinner plate, and bread and butter plate. And it's yours for a low, low price. Charge your Royal Elegance fine china on your Atlantic Richfield credit card. Then take it home and start setting a table fit for a king.
Making only his second start of the year and his first appearance this season against the Washington Senators. Downing coming into this game with a record of 1 win and 2 losses. Al has been credited with no saves. He has an earned run average of 5.52. Leading off for the Senators is the shortstop, Ed Brinkman. First pitch to him is drilled out into right field, up in the air. Bobby Mercer there makes the catch. So 1 pitch and 1 down. Hey, out in San Diego. Going to be an interesting ball game. Atlanta and San Diego, and the opposing pitchers are the Niekro brothers. Phil Niekro pitching for Atlanta, and his brother Joe Niekro pitching for San Diego. That should be an interesting game, and we'll watch the scores on that for you as they come in. Who does Mr. Niekro root for? He roots for a tie ball game, a double no-hitter. Hank Allen steps in, and he takes a pitch high and away, ball 1. Hank Allen, in the first game today, went 1 for 4. His 1 base hit was a double. Senators won that game by a score of 5-4. Hank Allen is hitting .273. He swings on this one and fouls it to the seats on the first base side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yankees have Roy White in left field, Ron Woods in center, and Bobby Mercer in right. The infield shows Bobby Cox at third, Gene Michael at short, Horace Clark at second, Pepitone at first, and John Ellis catching. Downing's pitch, fastball is low. 2 balls and 1 strike to Hank Allen. There's the windup. And the pitch is hit deep to left center field. But waiting for it is Roy White, and he makes the catch. That ball got up in the air and all of a sudden died. 2 down, and we'll pause right now for station identification.
Hi, Terry Lester here. Kick those late afternoon blues. Keep happy from 3 to 7 p.m. weekdays on WGY Schenectady, Radio 81.
Here's Frank Howard. He swings on the first pitch, nubs it down the third baseline, foul. They would have had no play on him had that ball stayed fair. Downing came off the mound, saw the English on the ball, was going to put it foul and let it go. So it's strike 1 to Howard. Frank Howard is hitting .310, 32 home runs, 68 runs batted in. Downing's last appearance was against Baltimore on this road trip on July the 8th in the second game of the doubleheader. Downing pitched 5 1/3 innings, gave up only 1 run, 3 hits, walked 1 and struck out 3, and that gave him a starting role in this ball game. Howard takes low for a ball that's 1-1. Downing pumps, kicks, and deals. and he whips a fastball in low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Downing's best outing this year was on June 1st at Kansas City when he pitched 5 scoreless innings, gave up only 2 hits, walked 3 and struck out 3, and he won the ball game for the Yankees 8-5. The pitch to Howard. Low and away, ball 3, and another fastball from Al Downing. In his outing against Baltimore, Downing pitched like the Downing of old. He was whipping the fastball in very well, had the good change, and the breaking stuff. He deals a 3-1 pitch to Howard, who swings and misses strike 2. And Downing blew the fastball by the big man. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Howard holds the bat right down on the end now as he awaits the payoff pitch from Al Downing. Into the windup. Here it comes. Swung on and missed strike 3. The Downing fans Frank Howard and retires the side in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. At the end of 1 inning, the score, the Yankees nothing and the Washington Senators nothing.
Dr. Robert S. Wrenn of Westchester, New York, doesn't smoke cigarettes anymore.
I seem to have a certain level of cigarettes I had to get in a day, and I might have a busy day, but I could only get in 2 or 3 cigarettes. But by bedtime, by dint of continuous smoking, I would get up to my 3-pack level.
When and why did Dr. Wrenn stop smoking?
I was ill 1 week with the flu, and I didn't feel like smoking. Thought as long as I could stay off them that long, I tried to stay off them completely, and so far, it'll be 2 years next month. I have not gone back to it.
Here are a few reasons why Dr. Wrenn hasn't gone back.
Approximately 75% of all carcinoma, cancer of the lung, is attributable to cigarette smoking of long duration. We know that nicotine often has an ill effect on the heart, so many aspects of life is not very good for it.
100,000 doctors have quit smoking cigarettes. Dr. Wrenn is one of them. Your American Cancer Society says you can quit too.
The second, the Yankees have the middle third of the batting order coming up. Joe Pepitone, Roy White, and the catcher, John Ellis. Pepitone went 2 for 3 in the first game, and he is 6 for 11 in this series. He and Horace Clark have been the Yankees' top hitters against Washington. Schellenbach's pitch, a curve, backs Joe off. It's high, ball 1. And the 1-0 delivery. Curve ball is lined to center, but Hank Allen, backing off, makes a one-handed catch. Pepitone put the wood to it, but the straightaway center, it's 410 feet, plenty of room for Hank Allen to get back, and he didn't use up all of it. Roy White steps in. White went 1 for 4 in the opening game. That 1 hit was a homer. He takes high, ball 1. Roy, at the moment, is hitting .299. One out, the base is empty, no score. Schellenbach's next pitch. White fouls it back. A ball and a strike. The 1-1 offering. Butted foul down the third base line. He had McMullen laying back and tried to bunt himself on, but he fouled it. Jim Schellenbach, 6'2", 200 pounds, a native of California, looking at the Yankee hitters for the first time in his career. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. First strikeout for Schellenbach. Well, Schellenbach has retired the first 5 Yankees, and now John Ellis takes him on. The young catcher has a .300 batting average as a Yankee. He was up earlier this season. Pitch to him. Mercer slowly to shortstop. Brinkman charges, throws, and he's out at first base. The side is retired. Yankees go 3 up, 3 down. Nothing across. And at the end of the top half of the second inning, the score. The Yankees nothing and the Senators nothing.
So you work for New York State. Think about this. For the past 59 years, everything that state employees have won in raises and benefits has been a result of the efforts of one organization, the Civil Service Employees Association. But that's not all. CSEA has gone to bat for thousands of employees with individual problems. They'll go to bat for you, too. CSEA is you. That's right, you. CSEA members run CSEA. Now, about this election to select your bargaining agent. If you're a New York State employee, we say only this. Vote CSEA today for a better life tomorrow.
CSEA, New York State's #1 civil service union.
Paid for by the Civil Service Employees Association.
Set to lead off as we go now to the bottom half of the second inning here at Robert F. Kennedy Memorial Stadium in Washington. Allier, right-hand hitter, batting .299. The first pitch from Downing. He takes low outside, ball 1. Allier went 1 for 4 in the opener, scored a run. Roberto Clemente has homered for Pittsburgh in the 8th with 2 on to give the Pirates a 3-0 lead over the St. Louis Cardinals, and the Pirates are still batting. That was Clemente's 13th home run of the year. A ball 2 is low to Allier. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, the Cardinals have won 8 out of 9, but Pittsburgh now leading at least 3-0. 2-0 pitch to Allier. He swings and he misses, strike 1. Roy White plays him very deep in left field. White back almost to the warning track. Ron Woods in center, shaded over toward left center field, and Bobby Mercer in the alley in right center. Infield, deep and to the left side. Downing cranks up, and the 2-1 pitch. Swung on him, missed, strike 2. Breaking ball. Beautiful, beautiful day here in the nation's capital. Warm, but not as humid as it has been for the past couple of days. Clear blue sky, few fleecy white clouds way up high. 2-2 pitch coming. Allier takes the change-up for strike 3 call. Second strikeout for Downing. And now Ken McMullen, the third baseman. McMullen hit a 3-run homer in the first game, and that was the big blow for Washington. Senators scored all 5 runs before a man was out in the first inning and won the ball game 5-4. First 5 batters to come up, reached and scored. Pitch to McMullen, check swing and a strike 1 call. McMullen hitting .256. He swings and misses, strike 2. Downing studies the baseball and now looks down at John Ellis for a sign. Brock's back on the right foot. Kicks and fires. Fastball is low. Blocked by Ellis. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sam Bowens is on deck. The windup, the 1-2 pitch coming. It's a ball outside and popped away from Ellis. Just bounced right out of his mitt. The count is 2-2. 1 out, nobody on, and no score. The pitch. Curveball is hit on the ground to the left side. Michael has it deep. His throw. In time, and what a play by Pepitone. It was in the dirt, and Pepitone trapped it on a long stretch, and McMullen is out. A fine play by Joe Pepitone at first base to handle a low throw from the deep shortstop hole. Michael didn't have time to set himself and get too much on the throw. It was accurate, but in the dirt, and Pepitone dug it out neatly. 2 down. Sam Bowens, the batter, a right-hand hitter, swings on the first one and fouls it back into the press box. Bowens went 0 for 3 in the first game. He carries a 163 batting average. The next pitch from Downing, fastball, is fouled back. Strike 2. Wayne Terwilliger coaches at third base for the Senators, and the first base coach is Nellie Fox. Al Downing has the sign from John Ellis. The 0-2 pitch. Bowens fouls it back. Count holds 0-2. Downing ready. 2-strike pitch again. Drilled deep to left field, but it is pulled foul into the seat, split foul. Bowens had his rip, but he pulled it foul deep into the seats. Downing ready again and delivers. He waits one this time, inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch. Foul back again. Bowens hanging in there, fouling him off. Downing keeps challenging him with a 1 ball, 2 strike count. The on-deck hitter is Tim Cullen, the second baseman. One-two pitch now to Bowens. Line past Cox to the left field corner for a base hit, maybe a double. Bowens on his way to second. Here comes the throw from Roy White. It is not in time, and Bowens pulls him standing up with a 2-bagger. Well, there's the first hit of the ball game, a low line drive between Cox and the line. Brings up Tim Cullen, the second baseman. Cullen is 0 for 4 on the afternoon. He is batting .207. Bowens leads away from second. The pitch. Cullen hits one deep to left field. After it, Roy White at the fence. He's got it. And the side is retired. Roy White all the way to the barrier to make the catch of the line drive. So the last 2 balls very well hit. For the Senators, no runs, 1 hit. There were no errors, and a man is left. Now, at the end of 2 innings of play, the score, the Yankees 0 and Washington 0.
Angelo Petrocelli of Paterson, New Jersey, Thomas Cornell of New London, Connecticut, John Firmstone of Holmesdale, Pennsylvania, and Jose M. Osorio of Brooklyn, New York, all have something in common. They participated in the 1969 beer taste test when Peel's challenged 3 top-selling brands for the Eastern Championship of Beer. And they all preferred Peel's Real Draft Beer. So did lots of other beer drinkers. In fact, not one of those top-selling beers could beat Peel's Real Draft in the 1969 taste test. Does that surprise you? Well, it shouldn't. You see, there is one very big, very important difference between Peel's and the other beers, and it's this. Only Peel's gives you real draft lightness, real draft freshness in bottles and cans. So it's really not surprising at all that Peel's was a winner in the big taste test. How about making a little test of your own? Next time you have a beer, have a Peel's Real Draft beer. I think you'll be convinced, too, that Peel's Real Draft has the taste that can't be beat.
Bobby Cox is waiting to lead off the top half of the third inning for the Yankees. It will be Cox, Michael, and Downing coming up in that order. Kansas City having a field day through 6 innings at the expense of the White Sox. KC Royals leading 8-3. Minnesota over Seattle 5-1 at the end of 7. Here's the first pitch to Cox. Fastball, he swings and misses strike one. He did not have a good swing at it. He was looking for the curve. Detroit leads Cleveland 6-1 at the end of 5. Schellenbach deals again. Breaking ball is low this time, and the count evens 1-1. Schellenbach uses the breaking stuff most of the time, or he has through the first 2 innings. His 1-1 pitch. Fastball low and inside. He just showed it to him. 2 balls and 1 strike. No score. We're in the top of the third. At this stage of the first game, the Senators were leading 5-0 and won it 5-4. 2-1 pitch. Cox nubs it foul just to the right side of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Schoenberg has the sign, and the 2-2 pitch. Cox hits it on the ground to the left side. Past the third baseman. Brinkman, the shortstop, has it. His throw is wild. Gets past Frank Howard, and Cox is safe at first. It's a base hit for Bobby Cox. So Cox is on with a leadoff single. The Yankees' first hit of the ball game. And here is Gene Michael, the shortstop. Michael has gone into a bit of a slump in this series. He has had but 1 hit in 11 trips. Pitch to him. He takes it inside as he bluffs the bunt. Gene Michael is hitting .266. 289 right-handed, 258 left-handed. Next pitch. He bunts it, foul, and it's caught and dropped by McMullen, but they say he dropped it in the act of throwing to first to try to make the double play. So Michael is out. Cox gets back to first base without a throw. A line drive bunt that was grabbed on a nice catch by Ken McMullen. McMullen wanted to throw to first base, and in getting the ball from his glove into his throwing hand, he dropped it. But John Rice and Russ Getz, the umpires, watching the play, both ruled that he had possession of it and lost it in the act of throwing. So Michael is out, 1 down, and Al Downing the batter. Downing, a right-hand hitter, squares to bunt, takes the pitch inside, ball 1. Frank Howard at first base, holding Cox on. 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. A ball and a strike. Howard was charging in, and Downing took a big cut at it. Schellenbach looks down to Casanova. Kicks and deals. Downing squared the bunt and took the pitch for strike two. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Stretched by Schellenbach. And he deals. Fastball is a bit high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Schoenberg has a very unusual motion on the mound. He looks like he almost coils up and then uncoils, even on his stretch move. Straightens, holds at the belt. 2-2 pitch. Downing fouls it back. Count rides 2-2. Cox at first, 1 down, no score. Schellenbach ready to work again. Here's the pitch. Curve is up high, and the count is full. 3-2 now on Al Downing. Horace Clark is on deck. Three-two pitch. Cox goes, and Downing pops it up. Foul off the first base side. Cox back to first. Howard is under the foul ball. One-hands it, and there are 2 away. Two outs with Cox at first, and Horace Clark will try to move him around. Hoss grounded out to third his first time up. He is now 9 for 14 in the series, by far the most hits of any Yankee. Cox short-laid at first. Schellenbach ready to work now to Horace Clark, batting right-handed. Instead, he throws to first, and Cox is back. Larry Knapp watching the plays at first. Cox leads away again. The pitch to Clark. Low, ball 1, and Clark bluffed the bunt that time. McMullen was laying back fairly deep. McMullen stays back. And the pitch. Swung on and popped up. Out near second base. Shortstop Eddie Brinkman is calling for it. He's under it and makes the catch behind second to retire the side. For the Yankees, no runs, despite a leadoff single by Bobby Cox. There are no Senator errors, and Cox is stranded at first. So, at the end of 2.5, the score, New York nothing and Washington nothing.
You know, lots of people go along drinking one beer and thinking it's just the greatest until someone comes along and shows them something better. That's what happened to Robert Jordan of Jackson Heights, New York, Raymond Church of Uncleville, Connecticut, and Gerald Leonard of Newark, New Jersey, and Bruce Thomas of Brooklyn. All of them have been regular drinkers of the biggest selling beer in the New York area. All of them participated in the big 1969 beer taste test. They tasted their regular beer without knowing it, and they tasted Peel's Real Draft, both in unmarked glasses. You know what? They all preferred Peel's. And the other top-selling beers in that dramatic taste test couldn't beat Peel's either. Peel's is a real draft beer, and draft beer tastes fresher and lighter. Just one taste is all it takes sometimes to convince people that Peel's is better than their beer. Convince yourself. Put Peel's Real Draft to the test today and enjoy the taste that can't be beat.
Bottom half of the third inning, the Senators will start it off with their catcher, Paul Casanova. Casanova went 2 for 3 in the first game today. He is 3 for 6 in the series. Right-hand batter. Ed Williams again has stacked his lineup with right-hand hitters against the southpaw Al Downing, just as he did against Fritz Peterson in the first game. Downing's first pitch. Casanova fouls it back. Peterson had only one bad inning in the first game, but it was a bad one. And it was the first inning. Before he got a man out, the Senators had scored 5 runs. And they made him hold up for a 5-4 win as the Yankees tried to climb out of the hole. Almost did, but not quite. In this game, we are scoreless. Downing's next pitch to Casanova. Check swing and a foul back into the seat. No balls, 2 strikes to the lanky Washington catcher. Downing throws again, and he just misses. 1-2. Downing so far, when he's been ahead of the hitters, hasn't nibbled too much. He's come right back. He did that with Bowens after he got 2 strikes on him. Bowens fouled off about 4 or 5 and then doubled. Downing throws again. A curveball is rocked on the ground to third off Bobby Cox's glove, and it rolls away from him. Casanova takes the turn at first and holds on. That was one of those plays where Bobby Cox, for just a second, was uncertain whether to come in and play the hop or go back and play the hop. And the hops caught him right in between. He's charged with an error, and Casanova's on. It brings up the pitcher, Jim Schellenbach. He bats as he throws, left-handed. Schellenbach has had 2 hits in 19 at-bats, a .222 average. Cox looks for the bunt, so does Pepitone, and the throw to first base, Pepitone was not there. The ball rolls over toward the seats. Casanova around second, on his way to third. And he is in at third base. Pepitone, thinking Downing was going to throw to the plate, was charging for the bunt. And Downing spun around and threw to first base. Nobody was there but the base runner, Paul Casanova, and he is now at third. An error charge to Downing on the throw. So Casanova, who reached on an error by Cox, now goes from first to third on Downing's throwing error. Little meeting out at the mound as Ellis goes out and Pepitone comes in. Let's see if the Yankees play the infield in tight on Schellenbach now. They probably will with a pitcher up there. And that's what they're going to do. Infield comes in. Casanova now at third, nobody out. Downing, short stretch. Here's the pitch. Curve is swung on and missed. Strike 1. Downing looks over to third base, sees Casanova. 3-4-step lead. Now he takes another step. The pitch is hit slowly back toward the first base side. Downing picks it up, looks to third, throws to first in time. Casanova holds on the number down the first baseline. Downing got to it quickly. Had time to take a glance at third to be sure Casanova was not trying to score, and then had time to throw Schellenbach out at first. Here's Eddie Brinkman, the shortstop, with 1 away. Brinkman flied to right his first time up. Right-hand hitter chokes way up on the bat handle, waiting for the pitch. Here it comes. The infield still in. There's a bounce to the short. Michael flags it down, holds Casanova, and throws over Pepitone's head. There goes Brinkman to second as Casanova scores. Michael made a good play on the ball and then threw it away. So the third error of the inning. The third error of the inning by the Yankees give the Senators a gift run, and Washington leads 1-0. That's a tough break for the Yankees and a good one for the Senators because Michael had held Casanova at third by fielding the ball and then threw it away at first base. Well, Casanova is across the plate. Brinkman is at second, and the batter now is Hank Allen. The Senators lead 1-0. Allen flied to left his first time up. Swings in the first pitch. There's another high chopper to third. Cox has this one. Throws to first, not in time. Hank Allen beats it out for a base hit. Brinkman held at second. Cox gave a quick look to second for Brinkman, then threw to first base, and he was not in time to get Hank Allen. Right now on New York Yankee baseball, let's pause for station identification.
Hi, I'm Bill Edwardson. I'm the bird that wakes up the early birds. Join me weekday mornings from 6 to 10. It's a real eye-opener. On WGY Radio 81, Schenectady.
The batter is Frank Howard. He struck out his first time up. One of those strange innings, the Senators score a run without a base hit, and then on a base hit, they can't move a man up. But that's the way it goes sometimes. The pitch to Howard is lined. Pass, Clark into center, base hit. Around third, racing for the plate is Eddie Brinkman. He scores. Hank Allen stops at third, and the Senators lead 2-0. A run batted in for Frank Howard, his 69th of the season. And now Brad Allier, the batter with runners at first and third, one out, infield back and double play depth. Ken Johnson is now throwing in the Yankee bullpen. Downing's pitch to Allier. Swung on him, missed, strike one. The scoring here in the inning is not of Downing's doing. Completely. His throwing error did not help him. He holds the set and deals. Foul back. Strike two. Cox made the play on Casanova, and Michael the play on Brinkman. The inning would have been over. Allier was called out on strikes his first time up. Downing has him down. 0-2 now. The runners edge away. Allen at third. Howard at first. Here's the pitch. He fouls it back. Count holds at 0-2. Leviton holding Howard on at first base. Two strike pitch. Low and inside. Blocked in the dirt by Johnny Ellis. And the count is a ball and two strikes. Ken McMullen waiting his turn on deck. They play Allier to full all the way. And the pitch. Check swing, and it's a ball 2-2. He went about halfway, ruled a check swing by Russ Getz, the plate umpire. Two-two pitch, inside ball 3 and a full count. So Ted Williams might run Frank Howard now to try to stay out of the double play. We'll see. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Payoff pitch coming. We'll watch Howard for you. He does not go. The pitch is swung on him. Missed, strike 3. And as far as the Senators are concerned, it's a good thing Howard did not go because Ellis could have thrown him out easily at second. 2 away. That is the third strikeout for Downing. And now Ken McMullen, who's grounded out to the shortstop, Gene Michael, his first time up. Beavatron continues to hold against Howard at first. The infield to the left side on the pitch. McMullen fouls it away to the right side, back to the upper deck. Strike one. Senators leading 2-0. Downing has the sign. Sets and delivers. Fastball poured straight through for a strike. 0-2. Downing sets. Two-strike pitch to McMullen. Foul to the right side, out of play. Cubs beat the Phillies 6-0, and the Mets beat the Expos 4-3. Those two battle along for honors in their division of the National League. Pittsburgh leads St. Louis 3-0 at the end of 8. Downing takes the sign. And the pitch. McMullen hits it right back through the box and out into center field. On to score, Hank Allen. Frank Howard legging it for third, and he slides in safe at third. On the throw to third, McMullen goes to second. A run batted in for Ken McMullen, and the Senators lead 3-0. It's a single for McMullen. He goes to second on the throw. Howard at third, McMullen at second, 2 outs. Sam Bowens will be the batter. That's McMullen's 6th run batted in of this series. He won the first game for the Senators with a 3-run homer. Sam Bowens now the batter. He doubled his first time up. Pitch to him, high, ball 1. Senators show 3 runs on 4 hits. Downing deals. Curve is hit deep to left field. Roy White circling to his left. He's there now and makes the catch in deep left to retire the side. But the Senators score 3 runs on 3 hits. There were 3 Yankee errors, and 2 men are left. At the end of 3, the score is Washington 3 and the Yankees 0. All 3 runs scored by the Senators are unearned due to errors by Cox, Downing, and Michael. On the scoreboard at the end of 7, Kansas City 8 and Chicago 4. Hernandez and Oliver have homered for Kansas City. That's the first game of 2. Seattle at Minnesota for a doubleheader. At the end of 7 1/2, it is Minnesota 4 and Seattle 1. Frank Pulisi and Cesar Tovar have homered for Minnesota. It was Pulisi's first and Tovar's second of the year. The other games not yet underway. Check that. Cleveland at Detroit is underway, and the first game is at the end of 7 innings. Detroit leading by a score of 6-1. Home runs, Harrelson for Cleveland. Yes, he's hit another one, his 16th of the year. And Tommy Tresh for Detroit, his 6th of the season. Mets shaded Montreal 4-3 for Kuzman. Robertson the loser. Montreal scored 2 on Rusty Staub's homer in the first inning of the second game, and the Mets are now batting. Reed against Ryan. Pittsburgh blanks St. Louis 3-0. Bunning the winner, Gibson the loser. Cincinnati 2, Houston 1 at the end of 4. Atlanta at San Diego scoreless at the end of 2 1/2. And Jerry Coleman will fill you in on other scores as he takes you through the middle 3 innings. Switcheroo time, and ready to step in, along with Ron Woods at the plate. Here is Jerry Coleman in the booth. Jerry?
Okay, Frank, and the first pitch to Woods by Schellenbach is low, inside for a ball. Frank, where did you leave off on the scores?
Let me see who I didn't get in. Cubs shut out Phillies 6-0, and the Dodgers are trailing San Francisco 1-0 at the end of 1.5. And that's it.
Okay, Frank, and Ron Woods right now is 2-0 against Jim Schellenbach. The Yankees trailing by 3. The 2-0 pitch by the left-hander is right in there for a strike. It was a wild third inning that the Yankees had with the Senators batting. 3 runs, 3 hits, 3 errors, and 2 men left. Woods, the right-hand batter, fouls it off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ron Woods in his first at-bat flied to center field. He's 0 for 1. Woods came into the ball game batting at .253. The next one by Schellenbach, a check swing foul that gets away from Paul Casanova. 2-2, the count remains. Woods takes high and tight. 3-2. A curveball just missed. Yankees lost the first one 5-4. Trail in this one 3-0 in the top of the 4th. A full count to Woods. Schellenbach ready, delivers, drilled hard. What a play! A great play by the third baseman, Ken McMullen. That brought everybody in this ballpark to their feet. A bullet, I mean, it sizzled. Went down the third baseline. Ken McMullen grabbed it as it was going by him. It was literally by him when he caught it. What a great play by Ken McMullen. Well, that's what I call defense. Here's Bobby Mercer. Bounced to first in the first inning and takes the ball this time as he attempted to bunt. Ooh, what a play by Ken McMullen. As far as he could reach, caught it in the webbing. Hit high, but not too hard to right field. Moving in and under it is Sam Bones, and Mercer is out of there for the second out. Now Joe Pepitone is stepping in. He lined to center field in the second inning. Pepitone waiting as Schellenbach delivers, and the curve drops on the corner for strike 1. Yankees won the first 2 games, 4-3 and 3-1. They dropped the first one this afternoon 5-4 and trail in this one 3-0. Pepitone takes outside, 1-1. Pepe takes one on the corner for strike 2. This Schellenbach is deceptive. He's got a little better fastball than people realize. Joe Pepitone waiting. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curve is fouled back. And the count holds. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Joe the Pep in the first game went 2 for 3. Raised his average to 247. Now the 1-2 pitch again. A curve, a high chopper toward first, kicking foul. This ball bounced about 8 feet in front of first base and about a foot foul and kept going on the right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This infield, we were talking about it, maybe needs a saliva test the way those balls have been bouncing. Some real big kangaroo hops this afternoon. Very hard. The 1-2 pitch. Just missed outside, a sidearm fastball for 2-2. A lot of umpires in the stands here. These Washington fans are rabid fans. Their ball club doing better than it's done in years. 47 and 45, 2 over 500. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Hit up the middle for a base hit. Joe Pepitone, still the toughest out on the Yankees, along with Roy White and Bobby Mercer, hung in there and drilled one hard up the middle. Second base hit off Schellenbach, and that'll bring up Roy White, who struck out in the second. Roy went down swinging. Schellenbach comes to a set position now as he looks at Pepitone and delivers to White inside for ball one. In the first game, the Yankees trailed 5-0 and battled back for 4 runs before going down. They're trailing right now 3-0, but this ball club never quits, always keeps pounding away, going for the runs if they can get them. White takes high and outside, 2-0. John Ellis on deck, the young rookie catcher. Schellenbach ready again, the 2-0 pitch, and White takes it on the corner for a strike. Roy White playing his 3rd game since returning from his 2-week stint in the service. Before this ball game, had moved his average to .299. Roy fouls one off now, 2-2, a fastball at the letters and tight. They try to throw White slow breaking stuff and then jam him from the belt to the letters. Of course, this is a pattern that a lot of hitters get. It's a matter of when you throw it and how you throw it. The 2-2 delivery. Curve outside, 3-2. So Pepitone will be moving on this one. 2 outs, a full count to White. Schellenbach, the left-hander, sets, checks Pepitone. There he goes. The pitch to Roy is in the dirt for ball 4. And the Yankees now have runners at first and second and 2 down. And the batter, the young rookie catcher, John Ellis. First walk given up by Schellenbach. Ellis, powerful right-hand hitter waiting as Schellenbach delivers, and a curve gets the corner for strike 1. John Ellis filling in for Frank Fernandez, who's away on the service this weekend. Now the 1-strike pitch to Fernandez, or Ellis rather, is fouled off. Strike 2. Schellenbach began his major league career with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He was purchased from the Pirates on waivers on May the 14th by Washington. He's got a 1-4 record so far. His first appearance against the Yankees. Fastball is over the head of Johnny Ellis. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ellis bounced to short in the second inning. A Yankee of the future, young John Ellis. He can swing that bat. Now the 1-2 pitch. Gets away from the catcher. I thought it was a foul tip, but it isn't. It went right through the legs of Paul Casanova, and the runners move up. Pepitone to third, White to second. That will go as a passed ball. Both runners moving up. Pepitone to third, White to second. So a base hit now can bring the Yankees right back into the ball game as they trail 3-0. It's a 2-2 count to Johnny Ellis. It's possible that Casanova was crossed up. Schellenbach can go into his windup, and he does. The pitch, curveball hit on the ground, foul at third base. Hauser gets the ball, checks it over, and then flips it to Ken McMullen. A third or a first base coach will always try to get a ball if he can that may stay in play so he can check it out. He may see something on the ball and then ask the umpire to look at it and have it thrown out if it's marked. 2-2. Here's the next one. Ellis waiting. Almost hit him 3-2. Bobby Cox on deck. He's got one of the 2 Yankee base hits. Schellenbach working rapidly, getting the side from Casanova. The tall left-hander is ready. Here's the payoff pitch to Ellis. It's hit on the fist, foul on the right side. That really hurt. Ellis came out of the batter's box, threw the bat down, and shook both hands. It's an expression they use in baseball, is he just caught the bees. In other words, that bat rings in your hands, and it's like somebody giving you a little electric shock or something. It burns sometimes. It hurts so much. Three balls, 2 strikes. Pepitone at third, White at second, 2 outs. Johnny Ellis battling Jim Schellenbach. Here's the left-hander again. The pitch. Hit hard to center field. Hank Allen going back. He's got it. That ball hit 400 feet into dead center field. Hank Allen moved back nicely, had it all the way, and put up his glove and speared it at the last moment. The Yankees are out of there now. No runs. 1 hit, 2 men left, and after 3.5, Senators lead the Yankees 3-0.
You know what Alan Hutchins of Lake Hopatcong, New Jersey, looks for in a beer? Lightness, that's what. Same goes for James Brady of Astoria, New York. He likes a light beer, too. So does Herbert Semmel of Forest Hills, New York, and Gary Just of East Newark, New Jersey. They all prefer a beer that doesn't leave you feeling filled up. And when they participated in that dramatic 1969 beer taste test, well, naturally, they all preferred Peel's Real Draft. Real Draft means lighter tasting beer. But Peel's has more than lightness. It's got smoothness, too, and mildness and flavor. It's no wonder those other top-selling brands just couldn't beat Peel's when they fought it out. In unlabeled bottles and unmarked glasses for the Eastern Championship of Beer. If you're looking for a beer with real championship taste, a beer that's in a league all its own, test Peel's Real Draft yourself. You'll be convinced, too.
Well, just looking around the upper deck here at the RFK Stadium in Washington, D.C., the upper deck circles the entire playing field. And out in center field, there are a couple of banners. We got a Mike Epstein fan club, an Ed Brinkman fan club. Jim French has 2 fan clubs. So he's very popular today. And no Frank Howard fan clubs out on this afternoon. Al Downing ready as we go into the 4th inning. It'll be Tim Cullen, the second baseman, and he takes the first pitch inside for ball 1. Tim Cullen, second baseman, entered the game batting .207. He lined to left in the second inning. It went sharply into right field for a base hit. Solid drive past Horace Clark into right field for Tim Cullen to open up the bottom of the 4th. Now here comes Paul Casanova, who started all the theatrics in the 3rd inning. He was safe on an error by Cox. Went to 3rd on an error by Downing on an attempted pickoff play. And finally scored on an error. I take it back. finally scored on a base hit by Hank Allen. Right now, Paul Casanova moves in. Takes a fastball high for ball one, and Downing looks in at the plate umpire. Russ gets as if to say, where was that one? And suddenly the bullpen is up and moving once again. Ken Johnson, the big right-hander, has been up in the first game and again in this one. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Casanova drills a hard one into the gap in left center. Cullen on his way to third. Ron Woods cuts in front of the left fielder White and cuts it off, and Casanova has himself a base hit. The Senators have runners at first and third. Nobody out, and that'll bring up the pitcher, Jim Schellenbach. Here's the final score. Those red-hot Minnesota Twins beat the Seattle Pilots in the first game 5-2. The winning pitcher, Cott, his record now is 9-6, and the loser was Rogenberg. Home runs, McNerney, number 9 for Seattle. Frank Quillisi had his first, and Cesar Tovar had his second for the Minnesota Twins. Montreal leads the Mets 2-1 in the second game. The Mets won the first one 4-3, that 2-1 score after one inning. Agee had his 14th for the Mets, and Rusty Staub hit his 11th for Montreal. Jim Schellenbach with runners at first and third and the Yankee infield in. The first pitch is swung on and missed for a strike. At third base, Cullen. At first, Casanova. Downing, ready, sets, delivers, and Schellenbach drills one to center field for a base hit. Coming in to score with a fourth Senator run is Tim Cullen. Down to second and holding is Paul Casanova. Safe at first, on the line single to center is Jim Schellenbach, and that one brought manager Ralph Houck out of the Yankee dugout. Houck is taking a slow stroll out there to talk to Downing. That's base hit number 7 and the fourth run. Downing, Ellis, and Houck having a chat on the mound. And it looks as though there's going to be a pitching change. Ken Johnson will be coming in for Al Downing. Downing went into the fourth inning and did not retire a man. Gave up 7 hits. Al didn't walk anybody. He struck out 3 and gave up 4 runs, 2 of them unearned. Al was a victim of some loose fielding in the third inning that hurt him when the Senators got their first 3 runs. So Ken Johnson will come on to pitch to Ed Brinkman, and while we wait for him to warm up, we'll go over the scoreboard for you and bring you up to date on the action in the American and the National. Boston at Baltimore plays a twilight single game. That starts about 5 o'clock, I think. In the first game, Kansas City 8, the White Sox 4. They're playing the 9th. Hernandez and Oliver have homered in that game for Kansas City. In the first of a pair, California scored 2 in the top of the first inning. They're playing the Oakland A's in Oakland, McLaughlin against Nash. In the first of a doubleheader, Minnesota beat Seattle 5-2. Cott got the win. Rogenberg the loss. Home runs by McNerney for Seattle. Quillisi and Tovar for Minnesota. Second game hasn't started yet. In the 9th inning, the Tigers lead Cleveland 6-1. Hargan against Wilson. Harrelson hit his 16th for Cleveland. Tresh got number 6 for Detroit in the 5th inning with a man on. That's the first of a pair. In the National League, the Mets beat the Montreal Expos 4-3 in the first game. Koosman got the win. Robertson the loss. Second game, Montreal 2, the Mets 1 after an inning and a half. Reed against Ryan. Agee had his 14th. Staub hit his 11th. The Pirates stopped the St. Louis Cardinals, who were red hot. The Cards had won 8 of 9, but it was the Pirates 3, the Cardinals nothing. Bunning got the win, and Gibson got the loss. His record now 11-7. Clemente hit his 13th in the 8th with 2 men on for the Pirates to hand Pittsburgh the win. In the second game, no action as yet. The Cubs beat the Phillies in the first game 6-0, and it's 1-1 after an inning and a half of the second. Palmer against Colburn in that second game. Holtzman got the win in the first. Santo hit his 18th for the Cubs. Cincinnati 4, Houston 1 after 5.5. That's a single game. San Diego leads the Braves 1-0 after 4, also a single game. Phil Niekro, who's won 14, is going up against his brother Joe Niekro. Phil for the Braves, Joe for San Diego. Giants lead the Dodgers 1-0 after 2.5. McCormick against Singer. Back to the action here. Ed Brinkman coming up against Ken Johnson with runners at first and second. Nobody out and a run across, and Brinkman fouls the first pitch back for strike 1. Ed Brinkman line to right and safe on an error by Gene Michael. Ken Johnson 0-2 so far this year, making his 8th appearance of the season. Looks like Mike Kekich may be warming up for the Yankees in the bullpen. The ball is bunted. It's a good one. Johnson has to go to first base. He got him on a great play. A sacrifice, 1-3, as Casanova goes to third and Schellen back to second. It looked for a minute as though Brinkman had himself a base hit. That is not Mike Kekich throwing. That's John Cumberland who's throwing in the Yankee bullpen. Just to keep the record straight. Here's Hank Allen with runners at second and third. The Yankee infield tight. Senators leading 4-0. A knuckleball over the head of Hank Allen. Ball 1. Ken Johnson ready again. The 1-0 pitch to Hank Allen is high and dropped by Johnny Ellis, but right in front of him. 2 balls and no strikes. This is really a tough spot for a young catcher. A knuckleballer like that. John Ellis hasn't seen too many knuckleball pitchers, so he'll have his hands full with Ken Johnson out there. Johnson getting the sign from Ellis. Here's the pitch to Allen. The knuckleball right in there. 2 balls, 1 strike. That's the bread and butter pitch of Ken Johnson, the knuckleball. He's one of the few guys who pitched a no-hitter and lost. Here's the 2-1 delivery. High pop, left side, near the seats. Cox over at the railing and can't get to it. While we're waiting for people to recover, it's New York Yankee baseball. We pause for station identification.
Hi, Harry Downey speaking. Every day it's music and mystery. Stay close weekdays, 10 to 11:30 a.m. and 1 to 3 p.m. here on WGY Schenectady.
Johnson gets a sign once again from Johnny Ellis. Here's the next one, and Hank Allen takes it over his head for 3-2. Ken Johnson pitched a no-hitter against Cincinnati on April 23rd, 1964, but lost the game on 2 errors in the 9th inning. Johnson, a big man, 6'4", over 200 pounds, into the windup again. Here's the pitch. Allen drills one to Michael at short. There's a play at the plate, and they very easily have Paul Casanova. So we have 2 down now. Schellenbach holds at second base. Hank Allen safe on the fielder's choice at first. And the play went 6-2. That was a good play by Gene Michael on a grass cutter to the shortstop. Frank Howard struck out and singled to center to drive in a run. Schellenbach at second. Hank Allen at first, and Frank Howard pops one up on the left side. Cox near the railing again, and he won't reach this one. Downing started the ball game. Was knocked out here in the fourth inning on 3 successive singles by Cullen, Casanova, and Schellenbach. Johnson to Howard, almost hit him as he backs away. A ball and a strike. That knuckleball is unpredictable. It dances. Johnson ready again. Oh, Frank Howard got a hold of one. Oh, look at it go. Way in the upper deck. Oh-wee. Well, you had to see it to believe it. That went halfway up in the upper deck in deep left field, and the Senators now lead 7-0. Home run number 33 for the big man. He's one behind Reggie Jackson. RBIs 69, 70, and 71. Oh, did he hit it? There's Brant Allier. Swings and misses. Strike one. Two of the runs that scored were charged to Downing. One of them to Ken Johnson. There's a high fly. Short left. Michael going back. Waiting for it. He's got it, and Allier is out of there, and so are the Senators. But not before they came up with 4 runs on 4 base hits. No Yankee errors. Nobody left. And the score after 4 innings of play, Washington 7, the Yankees nothing.
We asked Ralph Probasco of West Orange, New Jersey, what he looked for in a beer. And what did he say? Smoothness, that's what. And when we asked Ernest Dickinson of Norwich, Connecticut, he said it too. Smoothness. We got the same answer from Arnold Bloom of Jamaica, New York, and Ronald Gordon of New Brunswick, New Jersey. They all like a smooth-tasting beer. And when they all took part in that big 1969 beer taste test, they picked Fields. So did lots of other beer drinkers. There were 3 other well-known brands in the contest, too. But none of them could beat Fields' Real Draft Beer. How come? Well, it's not just that Fields has the smoothness people look for in a beer. Fields is a real draft beer. And draft beer tastes lighter, tastes fresher. When you put them all together, smoothness, lightness, freshness, you've got Fields' Real Draft, the beer with the taste that can't be beat. Try it. Just one taste, and you'll be ready to join all those people who've switched to Fields' Real Draft.
Well, in a in-between-the-games doubleheader interview with Ted Williams, he said that Frank Howard had as much power as any man he'd ever seen. And if you saw that shot, you'd believe it. That thing took off, got upstairs, looked around, and headed for left field. And when it got there, it landed in the aisle midway in the upper deck and then kicked back on the field. Well, I'll tell you, that ball had to be hit close to 500 feet. The Senators take a commanding 7-0 lead as we go into the 5th inning. And now it'll be Bobby Cox, Gene Michael, and a possible pinch hitter for Ken Johnson. Bobby Cox takes strike one from Jim Schellenbach. Cox had an infield single in the third inning. Senators won the first one 5-4, and they've got that big 7-0 lead in the fifth inning of the second. The ball is in the dirt, 1-1 to Cox. Bobby came into the game batting .202. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball misses low and inside. 2 balls and a strike. Well, you never know. We've said it before, and we'll have to say it again. It's never over until the last out. A lot of strange things happen. Well, we just got a confirmation. The ball landed in the aisle on the upper deck. Estimated distance only 502 feet. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and Cox takes it high for ball 4. Second walk given up by Schellenbach, and that's something right there that will bother manager Ted Williams. With a 7-run lead, walking a batter, they'd rather make them hit their way on if they can. Here's the final score. Kansas City 8, the White Sox 4. The winner was Bunker and the loser Nyman. Gene Michael stands up there and takes a curve in there for strike 1. Billy Cowan is in the on-deck circle, so he'll bat for Kenny Johnson. Michael lined to the third baseman, Ken McMullen, on a bunt, no less, and McMullen made a fine play. Gene takes low, a ball and a strike. Another thing that might have happened to Schellenbach if he does run into a little wildness here, he was on through most of that inning, and sometimes it'll tire a pitcher when he's on base. There's a foul back by Michael, a ball and 2 strikes. Here's another final score. Detroit beat the Indians 6-1. The winner was Earl Wilson. The loser, Steve Hargan. The 1-2 pitch coming up as Michael waits, and a curveball over his head, almost a wild pitch for 2-2. Senators, 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Yankees, no runs, 2 hits, and 3 errors. Schellenbach ready again at the belt. The pitch. Well hit, and a great stab by McMullen again, a diving catch. What an afternoon he's had. That's the second one. He robbed Woods on a play like it. This time he was a little closer to the ground as he grabbed one that robbed Gene Michael of extra bases. 2 great plays by Ken McMullen. Here's Billy Cowan. Bobby Cox goes back to first and holds on. Billy Cowan seeing action for the first time today. Batting .170. Got 1 home run and 3 RBIs. 8 for 47, and he takes high and tight for ball 1. Ken McMullen has made 2 great plays. One on Woods, one on Michael, and another fine play on Michael on an attempted bunt. Strike right in there to Cowan. But the line drives that he caught off Woods and Michael were tremendous plays. Now the 1-1 pitch. Cowan hits a chopper to McMullen at third. He goes to second for 1. The throw to first, not in time. Cox is forced at second base. The play going 5-4. Billy Cowan down at first on the 4th play, and that'll bring up the leadoff man, Horace Clark, who is 0 for 2. Horace bounced to third and popped to short. We're in the top of the 5th. Senators with a commanding 7-0 lead. Don't forget, the Yankees return to the stadium Tuesday afternoon for a day doubleheader against the Boston Red Sox. First game starts at 1 o'clock. Clark hits one into short right. Going back is Cullen. He can't get it. It drops for a base hit, and Cowan wisely holds on at second base. So Clark gets himself a base hit into short right field. Forrest is now 4 for 7 on the afternoon. He had 3 hits in the first game. Ron Wood's the batter. Slide to center and was out on that spectacular catch by Ken McMullen. 0 for 2. Yankees have runners at first and second. Schellenbach delivers, and Woods pops it up in the infield. Brinkman is calling for it as under it. He's got it, and the side is retired. For the Yankees, no runs on a base hit, 2 men left. The score after 4.5, Washington 7, Yankees nothing.
For hundreds of years, fine china has been prized for its delicate, translucent beauty and its regal splendor. Now Atlantic brings you fine china from across the sea at a fantastically low price. It's called Royal Elegance, and it captures the charm and grace of expensive fine china. A 4-piece plate setting of Royal Elegance can now be yours for only 99 cents from participating Atlantic dealers with your purchase of 8 gallons of gasoline. This offer may vary in some states. Each 4-piece plate setting consists of a cup, saucer, dinner plate, and bread and butter plate. You can charge your plate settings and accessory pieces of Royal Elegance on your Atlantic Richfield credit card. You will be proud to display Royal Elegance to your guests on special occasions, but you'll also enjoy Royal Elegance every day because it's delicate in appearance only. Royal Elegance takes steady wear and repeated soakings in your dishwasher, but still keeps its regal bearing. Start your collection of Royal Elegance at your participating Atlantic station. Royal Elegance will make your table fit for a king.
Third pitcher of the ball game for the Yankees coming on now, and it's John Cumberland, the young left-hander. Cumberland will be pitching to Ken McMullen, Sam Bowens, and Tim Cullen, and you might hear the hand that they're giving to Ken McMullen for 2 spectacular catches. John Cumberland in his first major league outing in 1969. A big hand for Ken McMullen, and well deserved. He made 2 great plays. Cumberland, born in Portland, Maine, still makes his home up there, and the first pitch is hit high in the air to left field by Ken McMullen. Roy White drifting near the line, now coming on fast. It's in foul territory and drops it. That ball held up there. White, I think, thought he had it. He kept coming, and then suddenly you could see that the wind was holding it, and White did all he could do to get to it, but dropped it, and they're not charging Roy with an error on that one. John Cumberland had a record of 8-3 at Syracuse, and this is his first outing for the Yankees since having been called up. John was called up last week. The 1-strike pitch now to Ken McMullen is outside 1-1. Fifth inning. Senators lead 7-0. They won the first one 5-4, and Cumberland delivers a fastball that catches the corner at the knees for strike 2. Cumberland, 22 years old, was 22 on May the 10th. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's low. 2-2. Outfield is shifted to the left side for Ken McMullen. McMullen bounced to short. He was out on a fine play by Michael and then singled to center. First game, he had a 3-run homer and a double. And 2 great plays in the second game. The 2-2 pitch is high and outside for 3-2. A full count now. McMullen, long, lean, right-hand hitter, waiting. Cumberland, chunky southpaw, delivers inside, ball 4. Cumberland walks the first man he faces, Ken McMullen. Now here's Sam Bowens, who doubled to left, line to left. The big man in the ball game in the second one is Frank Howard, who's driven in 4 runs with a single and a homer. And that home run, an estimated 502 feet. Estimated 502 feet, that is. Sammy Bowens takes outside for a ball. John Ellis ran out to say something to Cumberland. And if you're looking at the future of the Yankees, it's right there in that chat between the plate and the mound. John Cumberland 22, John Ellis only 20. The 1-0 pitch coming up. Bowens takes a curve that drops right in there. A ball and a strike. Cumberland again at the belt. Curve misses inside. 2-1. Bill, have we had attendance figures? Not yet, huh? Got a big crowd here. We're kind of anxious to find out just how many. Now the 2-1 delivery as Cumberland kicks. Lets it go. It's popped up behind the plate.
Now the 2-1 delivery as Cumberland kicks. Lets it go. It's popped up behind the plate. Ellis, near the screen, is back there. He makes it easily for the out. 1 away. Tim Cullen, line to left, single to right, and scored a run. Second baseman, 1 for 2 in this game. Cullen went 0 for 4 on the first one. Cumberland to Cullen, fastball outside, ball 1. Cox at third, Michael at short, Clark at second, in tight, double play depth, Pepitone holding against McMullen at first. Tim Cullen choking way up in the bat, deep in the box from the right side, and here's a pitch by Cumberland on the corner for a strike. One and 1 the count. Ellis gives a sign as Cumberland sets again. Cullen pops it up on the right side, moving back and under it. The catcher, Johnny Ellis, he's got it for the second out. He goes after those pop-ups very nicely. 2 down now, and here is Paul Casanova, the catcher. 1 for 2. Bottom of the 5th. Washington 7, Yankees nothing. Senators got the first one 5-4. Peterson lost that first one, and Casey Cox got the win in relief. Casanova fouls one off, strike 1. A lot of puffy white clouds drifting over D.C. Stadium, or I should say RFK Stadium. It was recently commemorated in honor of Robert F. Kennedy. Now the one-strike pitch. Casanova hits it high in the air to left field. Roy White back near the fence, at the fence. He's got it for the put-out. That ball, 5 feet more, would have been out of here. For Washington in the fifth, no runs, no hits, no Yankee errors, and one man left. And the score after 5 full innings of play, Senators 7 runs on 8 hits, the Yankees no runs on 3 hits.
Everyone can use another set of dishes, especially fine china. So how would you like to have a beautiful set of fine china that you can use for extra special occasions as well as everyday dining? You can, and it will only cost you a fraction of what you'd expect to pay for quality fine china. Thanks to participating Atlantic dealers, you can now purchase a 4-piece place setting of elegant fine china for only 99 cents with each 8 gallons of Atlantic gasoline. This offer may vary in some states. We call this fine china Royal Elegance. Graceful tulips in a subtle, eye-pleasing silver gray set against a soft white background. Surrounding each dish, a thin line of regal silver. Each 4-piece plate setting of cup, saucer, dinner plate, and bread and butter plate is yours for an unbelievably low price. Accessory pieces can also be purchased, and all can be charged on your Atlantic Richfield credit card. Let your family dine royally every day. Serve them on Royal Elegance. It's a dish fit for a king.
For the Yankees, going into the 6th inning, it'll be Bobby Mercer, Joe Pepitone, and Roy White facing the starting left-hander, Jim Schellenbach. He has been granted a big, fat 7-run lead right now. Senators coming up with 3 in the 3rd, 4 in the 4th. 6 of the runs have been charged to Al Downing, 1 to Ken Johnson. Schellenbach in his first start against the Yankees. Not only his first start, but his first major league appearance against them. Bobby Mercer moving in. Bounce to first, fly to right. Bobby Mercer takes a curveball outside for ball 1. The field is bathed in sunlight with the exception of the home plate area. But now it goes into shadow as Mercer takes a strike, 1-1. A lot of clouds drifting over and the sun is popping in and out. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Bobby. On the corner for strike 2. Schellenbach again. Into the windup. Mercer takes one in the dirt. 2-2. The shadow is about midway between the mound and the plate. That's the only dark part of the ballpark now as the sun has popped out brilliantly. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and Mercer takes called strike 3. Got him on the corner. For Schellenbach, only his 2nd strikeout. Well, I don't have to tell you that Joe Pepitone is moving in. He lined to center and singled to center. Oh, boy, they're really going after Joe. Schellenbach is ready. Here's a pitch, and Pepitone takes ball 1. Left-hander has the sign now. Into the windup, delivers, and Pepitone drills one right for a base hit. He'll go for two on this one as Sam Bowens goes into the corner. The ball gets away from him. Pepe's going to try for three, and he'll make it. Joe Pepitone triples down the right field line. And as he did, he got to third base. The fans are booing, and he put up both hands with a victory sign. Oh, that brought him to life. Look at him. There, he's turning around looking at him, and they're jumping up and waving. Pepitone's mad, and when he gets mad, he's a good ball player. I don't know what Joe has done to deserve this, but wherever he goes, he gets it. One out. Pepitone at third. The batter, Roy White, who struck out and walked. Second hit for Pepitone in this game as White fouls this one off for a strike. The ball got by Sam Bowens down the line and right. Had he come up with it, Pepitone would have been held to a double. Joe is 2 for 3 in the first game. He's 2 for 3 in this one, so he's 4 for 6 on the afternoon. White takes a slider that misses inside. 1-1. Senators 7, Yankees nothing. Washington got the first game 5-4. The 1-1 pitch to White on the ground to his left. Brinkman, he can't get it. Coming in to score the first Yankee run is Joe Pepitone, and it's a 7-1 ball game. And the fans start again. And he threw him a kiss as he walked off. Oh, they were really on him, and Joe got there and just blew him a kiss as he walked into the dugout. Roy White comes up with an RBI. He's on at first base, and the batter now is Johnny Ellis, who pops it back and out of play for strike one. White comes up with his 43rd RBI. I had a long talk with Joe the other night, and he said that doesn't bother him at all. In fact, he kind of likes it. Now, when he came off the field, the fans were all up and hooting at him. He just blew them all a kiss and went into the dugout. There's a swing and a foul back by Ellis for strike two. Five base hits off Schellenbach. Yankees trailing 7-1 now as they break the ice in the top of the sixth. Ellis takes inside, a ball and 2 strikes. Howard saying something to White at first base. Not much you can say now because Roy isn't going to go anyplace. High curveball makes it 2-2. This is a great defensive position for the team that's ahead. They're ahead that far. Nobody's going to take any chances here. You just play back and wait. The 2-2 pitch now. Ellis hits one to center field, not as deep as the last one, and waiting for it is Hank Allen, having a little trouble with his son, but makes the play. 2 down, and the batter will be Bobby Cox, who singled and walked. The great thing about young Johnny Ellis, he's only 20 years old, in the big leagues for the first time. He doesn't strike out. He gets a piece of the ball. No hits in this game, but he bounced to short, lined to center, and flied to center. Cox takes a curve inside for a ball. White drifting off first. The 1-0 pitch. Inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Schellenbach getting the sign once again. Kicks, delivers, and Cox takes a strike. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch coming up. There goes White. Cox takes it, and no play on Roy. It kicks off his leg and into left field. He'll go to third base. So that'll be a stolen base and an error charged to Paul Casanova. With Frank Howard playing back as far as he was, White figured, well, why not? And he did. That's stolen base number 11 for Roy White. He ends up at third on the throwing error by Paul Casanova. There are a few ball players on the Senator bench who will have a few comments about that one. They feel it might be taking advantage. Bobby Cox now has a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Schellenbach ready, delivers, and Cox takes it inside. Make that 3 balls and 1 strike. That's ball 4. Third walk given up. Cox has 2 of them. Now here's Gene Michael, who has had a lot of trouble with Ken McMullen. He attempted a bunt for a base hit. It was sort of a line drive bunt, and McMullen made a fine play. And then Ken McMullen made a spectacular grab of a line drive that was going by him as he dove for it and speared it. Gene Michael with runners at first and third takes a strike. White at third, Cox at first. The 1-strike pitch in the dirt. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch coming up. Schellenbach at the belt. The arm comes over, and it's strike 2, 1-2, and now let's pause for station identification.
Hi, Terry Lester here. Kick those late afternoon blues. Keep happy from 3 to 7 p.m. weekdays on WGY Schenectady, Radio 81.
Schellenbach getting the sign from his catcher, Casanova, shakes him off once. Now he's got it. At the belt again, Michael waits. Changeup hit high in the air to left field. Going after it is Grant Allier, circling under it, makes the play, and the side is retired. For the Yankees, 1 run. 2 base hits, 2 men left, and after 5.5 innings of play, the Senators lead the Yankees 7-1.
Give a good mechanic a bad break. A good mechanic at Fuller Road, Sunoco, Fuller Road, Albany. He buys his brake parts from Leach, Albany. Give a good mechanic a bad break. You'll find one at Fuller Road, Sunoco, Fuller Road, Albany. Buying his brake parts from Leach, Albany.
1867, one of the great bargains of history. We bought Alaska. Today, another great bargain. Pontiac Grand Prix. Longest hood in the industry. Cockpit you might find in a jet. Available now for what you'd expect to pay for an ordinary car. Pontiac Grand Prix. One of the great bargains of history.
Don't miss this great bargain of history, a 69 Grand Prix at your local authorized Pontiac dealer.
We're all set to go in the bottom of the 6th inning. John Cumberland on the mound for the Yankees, and we're waiting for Jim Schellenbach to come up for the Washington Senators. The Senators lead 7-1. We're in the bottom of the sixth, and they won the first game 5-4. Joe Pepitone, who has been getting a riding throughout this second ball game, more than in the first, gave the fans on the first base side the victory sign. Here's Schellenbach. Swings at the first pitch from Cumberland and misses for strike one. Schellenbach has 1 for 2, scored a run and drove in a run in the fourth inning. Cumberland, the third Yankee pitcher, delivers, and Schellenbach gets another base hit. He lost one over the head of Pepitone. 2 for 3 for Jim Schellenbach. That'll bring up the shortstop, Ed Brinkman. Brinkman is 0 for 2. Line to right, safe on an error, and then sacrifice. Brinkman waiting. Cumberland sets, delivers, and Ed fouls it off on the right side, drifting into the seats. Washington 7 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. The Yankees 1 run, 5 hits, and 3 errors. Cumberland at the belt again. Curve is high this time to Brinkman for 1-1. In that first game, the Washington Senators got all their runs in the first inning. A 2-run single by Brant Allier and a 3-run homer by Ken McMullen. They hung on to win 5-4. Brinkman takes inside from Cumberland, 2 balls and a strike. Mike Kekich is throwing in the Yankee bullpen. Got a couple of people going in the Senator bullpen. Cumberland, the 2-1 pitch, and Brinkman hits the chopper up the middle. Clark behind second base to Michael for 1. Throw to first, not in time. That was a fine play by Horace Clark. But Ed Brinkman, who moved down that line, beat the relay to first. Hank Allen stepping in. 1 for 3. Fly to left. Singled. Hit into a fielder's choice. Jim Miles and Barry Moore warming up for Washington. There's a drive to center field. Way back there. Woods on his horse near the gate. He can't get it off the wall. Brinkman heading for third. He's being waved in. Allen heading for third. He's got a triple. And the Senators lead 8-1. Coming all the way around from first base, scoring a run. Hank Allen coming up with an RBI and a triple. For Hank Allen, his third triple of the year. He can run. So now the Senators, with 10 base hits, lead by 7. It's an 8-1 game, and that'll bring up Frank Howard. And he has been poisoned in this second game. He struck out in the first inning. Singled to drive in a run in the third, and hit a 502-foot home run in the fourth inning to drive in 3 more. And they're going to walk him to pitch to Brant Allier. Frank Howard getting an intentional pass. And the fans don't like it. Frank Howard has just received his 54th walk. And what is it? July the 13th? About half of the season gone? Last year, during the entire year, he walked 54 times. So he has matched already his entire output for base on balls of last season. Here is Brant Allier, struck out twice and popped to short. 1 out, runners at first and third. A run across. Cumberland sets and delivers, and Allier follows it off. Strike one. I should have said fouls it off, strike one. Cumberland ready again at the belt. The pitch. Allier hits it deep to center field. Tagging up is Allen. Halfway is Howard. Hank Allen comes in easily for the second run in this inning. And now it's the Senators 9 and the Yankees 1. A sacrifice fly for Brant Allier, his first RBI in the game. Ken McMullen, the third baseman, who is 1 for 2, stepping in with Frank Howard at first. Senators a commanding 9-1 lead in the bottom of the 6th. They won the first one 5-4. And McMullen takes low for ball 1. The largest crowd since opening day, 31,700 watching this doubleheader. McMullen takes inside. That's about a total of 70,000 for the 4-game series. At 22 the first night, 16-9 yesterday, and now 31-7. So that's 20,000 more than they expected for this series. There's a fastball inside of McMullen, 3-0. Senators projected about 50,000 for the 3 days and 4 games, and they ended up getting 70. So the Yankees continue to draw on the road. High and tight to Ken McMullen. He gets the base on balls. The third given up by Cumberland. On the road, the Yankees have drawn 760,000. The Yankees continue to be an attraction. Sam Bowens doubled. Line to left, foul to the catcher. Howard at second base. McMullen at first, 2 outs, 2 runs in. John Cumberland at the belt. The pitch to Bowens, outside, ball 1. No strikes now as Cumberland is ready again. Bowens waiting. Here it is, and it's in there, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Curve right in there. A ball and 2 strikes. This is a beautiful day for baseball, but as far as the Washington people are concerned, they would rather see some rain coming around here. What a very, very dry summer. The 1-2 pitch. Bowens fouls it back. Count holds 1 ball, 2 strikes. This is the best of the 3 days that we had down there. Friday night, it was very threatening with rain, humid, hot, in general, miserable. Saturday, a little bit better, but kind of like that. Today, though, the humidity has gone out of the air, even though the temperatures were predicted in the 90s. Not nearly as bad as it was the first 2 days. Now the 1-2 pitch. Bowens hits one to left field. Roy White waiting for it. He's under it. He's got it. Ball was sharply hit, but White was right there. Senators, 2 runs. 2 base hits, 2 men left. The score after 6 full innings of play, Washington 9 and the Yankees 1. And on the scoreboard, Baltimore and Boston, Lonborg against McNally. McNally shooting for his 13th straight, no action as yet. In the first game, Kansas City beat Chicago 8-4. The second game, the White Sox lead 1-0 after 1. In the first of a pair, California 2, Oakland 0 after 3. In the first of a doubleheader, Minnesota beats Seattle 5-2. The second game, no score after 1. Detroit 6, Cleveland 1 in the first game. The second game, no score after 1 inning of play. In the National League, the Mets beat Montreal 4-3 in the first game, and Montreal leads 3-2 after 3 innings of the second. Pittsburgh beat the Cardinals in the first game 3-0. There's a scoreless duel in that second game after 2.5 between Ellis and Bryles. Cubs beat the Phillies 6-0 in the first of a doubleheader, and they lead 2-1 after 4.5 in the second game. Houston came up with 7 in the 7th inning to lead Cincinnati 9-4. That's a single game. That's after 7 innings of play. San Diego leading the Braves 1-0 after 7. The Giants leading the Dodgers 2-1 after 5. In the doubleheader here, the Senators won the first one 5-4, and moving into the 7th inning of the second game, they lead 9-1, a commanding 8-run lead. And now to carry you down to the wire in these final 3, here's the scooter, Phil Rizzuto.
Thank you, Jerry. And Bill Robinson's coming up to bat for John Cumberland here in the top of the 7th. The pitch by Schellenbach is in there, strike 1 call. Bernie Allen has moved in to play second base. And Tim Cullen has moved from second base to shortstop. Eddie Brinkman out of the ball game. Fastball is low, 1-1. Robinson pinch hit in the first game. It was a big play. He bounced into a forced play, then tried to go from first to third on a single by Clark, was thrown out. Bounces one over the middle. Cullen's got to throw to first. Good play. He's out. Man, I tell you, what a target that Frank Howard is at first base. Cullen threw that ball about 15 feet, it looked like, over his head, and he just reached up and plucked it out of the sky. 1 away, and now Horace Clark. Horace has bounced to third, popped to short, and single to right. Sam Bowens moves way in right field, still coming in. The pitch to Clark is low, ball 1. On deck, Ron Woods. Senators really putting it all together in this twin bill. Defensively, offensively, pitching. There's a ground ball. Cullen, to his left, knocks it down, can't make the play. It hit him off the chest as it took a bad hop. Official score has been very tough today. There it is, error 6. Never hit his glove. It took a bad hop and hit him right off the chest. Here's Ron Woods, fly to center, line to third, and pop to short. Pitch to Woods, swing and a miss, strike 1. The Montreal Royals came up with 3 runs in the 4th. They lead the Mets 6-2.
Montreal Expos. Hey, Schellenbach picks up a ground ball and throws it into center field. And moving to third is Horace Clark. So I just got through saying that the Senators putting it all together offensively and defensively, and they go and make 2 errors. And the Yankees have runners at first and third. Schellenbach knocked down a hard smash that would have gone through for a base hit. Then he picked it up and threw it right in the center field. So Clark is at third. Woods is at first. The batter, Bobby Mercer. Bobby's 0 for 3 in this second game. Bounced to first, fly to right, and struck out. Pitch to Bobby, a curve, low, ball 1. Pepitone on deck. And wait till he comes up. This crowd will go wild. The stretch. The pitch bounced foul outside of first. Almost got Elston Howard in the coaching box. One ball, 1 strike on Mercer. 9-1, the Senators lead. They took the first game 5-4. Bobby asked for time at the plate. Here's the stretch. Curve is high, 2 balls and a strike. Paul Casanova has scored both ends of his twin bill. He'll be a tired young man tonight. Many times as he's had to get up and down. The left-hander ready. Pitch is popped up. The infield fly. Nope, he's out. Allen makes the catch. It's not the infield fly rule. There were runners at first and third. And listen to the crowd with Pepe coming up. Go Pepitone. He's put on quite a show here today for these fans. And I said, you got to have a gimmick, and Joe's got it. Whether they come out to boo you or cheer you. And they boo Joe, not in a nasty way. And there they're giving it the thumbs down treatment. You think you're in the Forum or the Coliseum in Rome. Rome to the Lions. That's what they're doing, thumbs down. Pepitone blowing kisses all over the park, giving the peace sign. Joe drops his bat at the plate and the crowd roars. Pepe's had quite a series. In this game, he has lined hard to center, single to center, and triple. Has a little chat with Casanova before he's ready. 2 outs. Runners at first and third. The pitch to Pepe, a curve high, ball 1. In this series so far, Pepitone has been at bat 14 times with 8 hits. It's just about the best series Joe has had all year. The stretch. The pitch is popped up. The second baseman, Bernie Allen, is under it and takes it. For the Yankees, no runs, no hits. There were 2 errors and 2 men left. And at the end of 6 1/2, it's Washington 9, the Yankees 1.
This is a commercial for squirrels and frogs and blue jays and chipmunks and anyone else who calls the forest home. Over the years, they've all become a little leery of us people with our cigarettes and campfires, and they've got a pretty strong case. Just last year, for example, we started about 90% of the fires that destroyed their nests and their thickets. People like you and me did. People who would never dream of starting a forest fire. So all we're asking is, this year be a little extra careful, because that's where we've got it all over the animals. People can think before they strike. We're capable of change.
Mike Kekich has come in now to do the pitching for the Yankees here as we get ready for the bottom of the seventh. The left-hander Mike Kekich taking over for the left-hander John Cumberland. Tim Cullen, who is 1 for 3 in the ball game, will be facing Mike Kekich. Senators lead 9-1. They scored 3 in the third, 4 in the fourth, and 2 in the sixth. Yankees picked up their 1 run in the top of the 6th inning. Tim Cullen steps in. The Yankees spending a rough day in the nation's capital. Pitch by Kekich is hit high in the air to left field. Roy White is right there. Flips the glasses down, makes the catch, and it's 1 out. That brings up Paul Casanova, reached on an error, singled, and fly deep to left. Casanova with a red golf glove to match his red batting helmet and red stockings. One out, bottom of the 7th. Kekich takes and throws a curve in there, strike 1. Change-up hit on the ground in the hole, backhanded by Michael. The long throw is low. Dug out by Pepe on a beautiful play. That's the second great play Pepe has made like that today. Michael went deep in the hole and threw it hard, but it was low. And look at Pepe. The crowd getting on him. He's talking right back to them. 2 men are out. And it brings up Jim Schellenbach, who's 2 for 3 in this ball game. Hit to the box and singled twice. And he gets a fine hand. Pitch by Kekich is right in there, strike call. Mike winds, the fastball is low, 1-1. Curve is hit high in the air to straightaway center field. Ron Woods has to go back, turns now, makes the catch. That ball was hit well.
3 up, 3 down. And the score at the end of 7 full innings, Washington 9, the Yankees 1.
The Red Sox are coming to town on...
It happens every day in tens of thousands of homes every morning. People get up, get into their cars, and drive to work. Some of them stop and fill up with Atlantic Imperial gasoline, which isn't a bad idea, because sooner or later, somewhere on your way to work, you're going to run into heavy, sluggish traffic. You're going to get involved in today's typical stop-and-go traffic. And now that Atlantic stop is really going to pay off. Oh, sure, Atlantic Imperial is just great for open highway driving. It's blended to give you all the power you need for a smooth, clean ride. But when you run into traffic, your engine wasn't designed to perform best at slow speeds. Lucky for you, Imperial was. It's made to combust cleanly and completely, even when you're inching along. You see, Atlantic Imperial pays off for you at any speed, from 0 to 60. Atlantic Imperial is just your speed. Atlantic Imperial, a product of Atlantic Richfield Company.
So the Yankees in the top of the 8th will have Roy White, John Ellis, and Bobby Cox to face Jim Schellenbach. Schellenbach, the left-hander, has allowed just 5 base hits. Roy White has one of those 5. He has also walked and struck out. Len Bamer has come in from the bullpen, so Bamer will probably go into the ball game somewhere along the way here. Ralph out, give him a little playing time. Might even try him as a catcher. The pitch to White is over, strike call. Bamer's been doing a lot of catching in batting practice in the event that one of the catchers gets hurt. Low curve, low, 1-1. Sam Bowen way over in right center field on Roy White. Foul off the end of the bat. A ball and 2 strikes. Jim Schellenbach uses more rosin than any pitcher I've seen. Foul back in the seats, out of play. Every pitch he goes to that rosin bag takes a good handful, not just the fingertips, the whole hand. Curve high, evens the count at 2-2. John Ellis on deck. Fastball low, and it's a full count, 3-2. Nobody out here in the top of the 8th. The payoff pitch is swung at and fouled off right into the center of the dugout. The pitch is fouled into the crowd down the right field line. Still 3-2 on Roy White. We're in the top of the 8th inning of the second game. As the ground ball hit to short, Cullen Fires to first low, but what a play by Frank Howard! Holy cow! He backhanded the ball on the short hop just like he does it every day. He really made that look easy. What a play as Cullen had thrown it in the dirt. Fine play by Frank Howard. And now John Ellis. Bounce to short, line to center, fly to center. Fastball is low, ball one. A bouncer over the pitcher's head. Cullen comes in. The big hop, easy toss to Frank Howard. 2 out. And right now we pause for station identification.
Hi, I'm Bill Edwardson. I'm the bird that wakes up the early birds. Join me weekday mornings from 6 to 10. It's a real eye-opener on WGY Radio 81 Schenectady.
Bobby Cox swings at the first pitch, grounded to short, thrown out. All three assists by Cullen. All three putouts by Frank Howard. It's 3 up, 3 down.
China, called Royal Elegance, compares with China that costs many times the price. It's a value at all participating Atlantic stations. With each purchase of 8 gallons of gasoline, you can buy a 4-piece place setting of Royal Elegance at an unbelievable low price. This offer may vary in some states, but this beautiful fine china will never vary in its translucent, delicate beauty. Each plate setting consists of a cup and saucer, dinner plate, and bread and butter plate. Charge your plate settings on your Atlantic Richfield credit card if you like. Stop in today and take a look at Royal Elegance. Then take some home. Royal Elegance is worth a trip to your Atlantic station.
Well, we get ready to go. And Bernie Allen will be up for his first time in the ball game. He's batting in Ned Brinkman's spot in the order. Bernie did not play in the first game with Fritz Peterson pitching, a left-hander. It's his first at-bat today. Left-hand batter. 9-1, the Senators lead. Pitch to Bernie Allen all the way back to the screen, ball one. That missed everybody. Pitch by Kekich is a curve, low, ball 2-0. Fastball foul back on the screen. Two balls, 1 strike. Kekich, the 4th Yankee pitcher of this second game. Fastball lined, a base hit to left field. Bernie Allen steps right up, gets himself a base hit. And the batter now, Hank Allen. He's 2 for 4, a single and a triple. He scored twice and driven in runs, also fly to left, bounce to short. Pepitone holds the bag against Bernie Allen. Pitch to Hank is a little high, ball 1.
Beckett sets. Fastball over. Strike call. 1-1. On deck, Frank Howard. Bernie Allen leads off first. Changeup is low, 2 balls and a strike. Beckett gets the sign from Ellis. Fastball bounces short, could be 2. Michaels a clock for 1. Back to first, double play. Michael the clock for Pepitone, and now Frank Howard. And listen to the hand. Howard has struck out, singled, hit a tape-measure jibe homer way in the upper deck, and walked. He has driven in 4 runs in this game. Pitch by Kekich is low, ball 1. Two out here, bottom of the 8th. Senators out in front, 9-1. Slow curve, base hit to left field. Frank Howard gets his 3rd hit of the ball game. We might see a runner for Howard. He's had a long day out there. 3 hits in this ball game. In the first ball game, he was 1 for 2. Time to score, and I believe they are going to put a runner in for Frank Howard. Yes, Howard's leaving the game. He'll get another hand. Ed Stroud running for Frank Howard. Hits for the Senators in this second game. Here's Brent Allier. He's 0 for 3. He struck out twice, popped a short, drove in a run with a sacrifice fly. Pitch by Kekich, a curve swung at and missed, strike 1. Ed Stroud at first with 2 out. Kekich kicks the ground ball up the middle. There's a base hit for Allier. Stroud holds at second base. Third hit in this inning, but a double play has saved Kekich so far. 13 hits now for Washington. The batter, Ken McMullen. Boy, he's had some series against the Yankees. Hitting and fielding. Bounce to short, single to center, walk twice. Pitch to McMullen, a curve inside, ball 1. Well, San Diego shut out Atlanta as the brother act. Joe Negro defeated his brother Phil Negro. 1-0, San Diego beat Atlanta. Ball 2, and boy, that's something very unusual. Brothers pitching against each other in the big leagues. Phil gave up 8 hits. Joe gave up 6 hits. Joe Negro has won 4, lost 6. Bill Negro for the Braves has won 14 and lost 7. And the time of the game, 1 hour and 46 minutes. Man, that's what you call a fast game. Ball 3, 3-0 to McMullen. That's some human interest story when a brother pitches against a brother. You know, there's no brotherly love during the game. Both wanting to win after the game to go out and have a bite together. The 3-0 delivery. McMullen swings and misses. They gave him the green light on the 3-0 pitch. 3-1. Two men out. Beckett's ready. Fastball is high, and that loads him up. Ball 4. The bases are loaded, and the batter is Sam Bowen. Sam is double, line to left twice, foul to the catcher. Will take the full windup. Stroud at third, Allier at second, McMullen at first. Pitch to Bowen's fouled over the center of the dugout into the crowd, strike one. Sam Bowen, big right-hand batter. Curve is swung on and missed. Ball gets away from Ellis. A run is going to score. Stroud comes in to score. Moving to third is Allier. Moving to second, McMullen. And the Senators now lead 10-1. And it's a wild pitch charged to Kekich. I believe Bowen swung at that ball. Should be strike two. Yes, it is. 2 strikes. The count on Sam Bowen. Swung at a curve that bounced in front of home plate. The runners at second and third now. Kekich winds. Foul, back upstairs and out of play. Here the crowd booing a fan, had it upstairs, lost in a row back on the net.
With the exception of Casanova, this is the first time Wrenn has scored in double figures against the Yankees. Casanova did it 3 times.
All right, Kekich into the windup. Curve low, almost hit him on the kneecap. Ball and 2 strikes. All right, Kekich is ready. Curve high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stroud's bloodthirsty today. They're leading 10-1. They want more. Curve low, and it's a full count, 3-2. All right, Mike winds. Fastball hit. Ground ball is short. Michael up with it. Over to Pepe in time. The Senators pick up a run on 3 hits. No errors and 2 men left. And now at the end of 8 full innings, it's Washington 10 and the Yankees 1.
Honey, I heard on the news there's some sort of election for all you state workers.
That's right.
Who are you going to elect? The governor?
No, it's not that kind of election.
What other kind is there?
It's to elect a bargaining agent. You know, a union.
Oh, I see. Who are you voting for, anyway?
CSEA, naturally.
Who's running against them?
I'm not sure. Some little outfit I've never heard of.
You're not sure?
No, but I know I'm voting for CSEA. They got us over $1,200 in raises in just the past couple of years. And a lot of other things.
But CSEA isn't a union, is it?
Not a union. It sure is. It's one of the biggest in the country, and we're getting stronger every day. Remember that time I had trouble with the boss? They sent a field man in to straighten things out.
Vote CSEA today for a better life tomorrow.
CSEA, New York State's #1 civil service union.
Paid for by the Civil Service Employees Association.
Ed Stroud moves to left field. And Brant Allier moves to first base. Frank Howard out of the game. And now the Yankees in the ninth inning have Gene Michael leading off, and on deck is Len Behmer to bat for Kekich. Ball is bunted to first, and Schellenbach up with it flips to Allier, and it's 1 out on the first pitch. And Len Behmer now coming up to bat for Mike Kekich. Len Behmer has had 2 hits in 34 bats this year, batting .059, 1 double, 2 RBIs, takes the ball low. Pitch to Behmer is popped up, but it's going to be into the crowd and back of the Yankee dugout. And the scramble is on for the ball. One out, nobody on, top of the ninth. Washington leading 10-1. High. 2 balls and a strike. What's happening with that Met game? Montreal had scored. And it's a bouncer to the pitcher. He's got it. Flips to Allier for the out. And it's 2 away. The Mets scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 4th, and they are leading Montreal now 7-6. Montreal had scored 4 runs in the top of the 4th, but the Mets came back with 5. Amieci has 2 home runs in this game. Lovely with 2 men on in the 4th inning. Horace Clarke takes the ball. Horace is 1 for 4 in this second game. There's a line drive base hit to center field for Horace Clarke. And Horace has hit the ball very well since returning to the lineup in this series. Here's Ron Woods. Ron is 0 for 4 in the ball game. Schellenbach sets. Pitch to Woods is popped up into right center. This should be the ball game. The center fielder, Hank Allen, makes the catch. For the Yankees, no runs, a base hit, no errors, a man left. The ball game is over, and the Senators win it 10-1.
You told us 3 days wasn't enough, so Sears continues its spectacular washer and dryer sale for one more day. That's right, one more day to take advantage of Sears' amazing washer and dryer offer. Tomorrow and tomorrow only, a Kenmore 2-speed washer plus a famous Kenmore automatic dryer, both for just $177. Remember, tomorrow is your last opportunity to buy a Kenmore 2-speed washer plus a famous Kenmore automatic dryer, both for just $177. At Sears and Colony Center, Amsterdam and Schenectady.
I think that particularly because I was a physician and knew that there was a definite danger in smoking cigarettes, that for the betterment of myself and for the fact that I should set an example for my own patients, that I should stop smoking.
Dr. William Flynn.
I tell my patients that I think that there is a definite relationship between cigarette smoking and lung cancer, and I advise my patients not to smoke.
100,000 doctors have quit cigarettes. Your American Cancer Society says you can, too.
So the Yankees lose a doubleheader, as we told you in the first game, 5-4. In this game for Washington, 10 runs, 13 hits, 3 errors. For the Yankees, 1 run, 6 hits, 3 errors. Schellenbach the winner, he's 2-4. Downing the loser, he's 1-3. And the big batter, Frank Howard, with a tremendous home run on the upper deck. Howard, with 3 hits, drove in 4 runs. He was the big man in the second game. McMullen had a 3-run homer in the first game. And that's it. So, once again, the final scores. In the first game, Senators 5, Yankees 4. Second game, Senators 10, Yankees 1. Now, this is Phil Rizzuto speaking for Jerry Coleman, Frank Messer, Bill Kane, and Sandy Alper saying so long from RFK Stadium in Washington, D.C.
This Yankee baseball broadcast has been brought to you by Atlantic Richfield Company and your local Atlantic dealer. Drive in where you see the Red Bull sign, the sign of service. Fill up with Atlantic Imperial and keep on the go. And by Fields Real Draft, the beer that won the 1969 Taste Test. This is the Home of Champions Network.